Hi, I'm Matt and I work as the AI sales engineer here at Avolites, and today we're going to go more in depth into the stage construction page. So the first thing that you want to do in the stage construction page generally is setting up a screen. And you do that on the left hand side by selecting a screen fixture. And this sets up your canvas for the entire program. So whatever resolution you set it to, whatever scale, that is what handles your media in the AI media server. So looking down on the right hand side here, we can assign a name to it. So we'll just call this screen 1. And you can see in the bottom middle here, it's now labeled that screen, whatever we call it. So as we navigate throughout the rest of the program, that maintains that name and it makes it a very easy reference for when we want to select which screen in the future. The other selections that we have are X position. Now we can go through this and that moves about the screen in this 3D environment. So within AI we can handle 3D models and you'll see a little bit of that later on. The other thing we have is scale width and scale height. Now this is really important to make sure you get square pixels. So in dealing with a 16:9 screen, we want to make sure that we have that scale width and height set correctly. Again, if you're using a 3D model, if it's been created accurately, you want to ensure that the scale, width, height, and depth are all set to 1. We also have rotation, which works in 360 degrees. Canvas resolution, so for a full HD screen, this would be 1920 by 1080. And now with the AIM codec, you can go up to 8K in either direction. So anything greater than that, you will need multiple screen fixtures and canvases. And then the other thing we have is the canvas scale. We've got 2 buttons here, view wireframe. It's quite self-explanatory. You see the frame of whatever 3D model you're using, and show canvas. Now this allows us, if we just put a bit of media on, to see what's playing in the background as opposed to the green selection screen. And we can add more screens as well. So we can populate this whole 3D environment with multiple screens. I'll just move that over to the right and we'll give that a label. And we can see it there. We can add another one, have it going to the left. And we'll give that a label as well. So it's very easy to get started with just simple 2D screens in the stage construction, and we can now use those however we like, so we can throw different media contents to all 3 of them, have them going to different outputs, etc. The other thing that we can do in the stage construction page is create an LED fixture. Now this allows us to send ArtNet values. If I just move that up, we can get a better look at it. So this is currently at a resolution of 128 by 128. So we can sample that for our pixel mapper. And I'll just give that a name as well. On the top left as well, we have the projector fixture. So this will create what acts as a camera in the AI 3D environment. So if we move that backwards on the Z direction, it will sample whatever it sees in this 3D environment. But what's really important when using a projector is ensuring that you have the correct aspect ratio, in this sense 16:9, and the correct lens ratio. This gives the zoom of the projector. So a very common one is about 1.8. On our screen fixtures as well, so by standard they're a X and Y 2D screen, but if we want to include a model, we can just select one of these on the right. So if we have a cube, you drag it onto the icon at the bottom. So if I drag it onto there, we can see now that has turned into a cube. But as I said before, it's maintained the 16:9 scale width and depth. So if we want to make it a square, we can change that to 1 and 1. And this will now use a UV map to put the canvas back wrapped onto the 3D object. We can view this UV map by going to the canvas editor, which we'll talk about in another video. So as you can see here, you have the 6 regions of the cube sampled from this video. Now I'll just go back into the stage construction page and talk through a couple more things. So I mentioned you can drag the 3D model from the left-hand side here, but you can also drag it from Windows Explorer. So if you have an OBJ or 3DS file, we can just go into Windows Explorer, again drag it onto the icon, and there we have our 3D model, exactly how we built it in our 3D editing program. If you'd like to know more about AI, we have a lot more videos on this subject and more about how to get started. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.